Good day, everybody. I hope you're doing well. This is Tracy Brown, your somatic nutrition dietitian and a tuning specialist. And I want to talk this week about some complex situations, and those are my favorite. But anyway, I'm glad you're here. Thank you all to all the new members of this group and those who are watching on YouTube. Just really appreciative of your presence and support and all that good stuff. So let's dive in. Now I'm thinking right now on my schedule. I'm gonna look over here on my schedule here, and I would say I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and maybe even 8. 7 to 8 clients right now on my schedule that are kind of like long-standing disordered eating disorders, and some others are too, but the medical complications aren't as much. So I do tend to work with a good bit of people who definitely have some nutrition changes that would or might be beneficial, but we're just not at the stage that we can do that yet, and there's a lot of reasons for that. But I want to talk to you about that and how you hold the space for it. And every single client that I have, and the ones I've even had in the past, everybody's different as to when and how quickly we can make some food changes. So I just want you to be thinking about that. You might see like, oh my gosh, this person might benefit maybe from doing a FODMAP thing, or gosh, I know this person's really struggling with XYZ, and they would really benefit if we could just get that those enzymes in. Or I mean, the list goes on and on of what would be helpful for people, and oftentimes they are not there because if I were to, let's say, I have a client that I think might possibly benefit from a FODMAP trial, but all we're doing right now is just focusing on maybe not doing one food at a time, once a week, putting it back in, just because if we did that, this person would not be eating anything. So it just doesn't make sense. In a lot of these foods that they feel safe about, sure, they can eat a full meal. They could eat a full meal, and they have a lot of stomach pain. I don't want that suffering for them, but I also know that, well, if they're not going to eat other foods yet, what option do we have? And so I know that's a dance that we're always working with when we're working with people who maybe have some medical nutrition issues and have an eating disorder. So I just want to keep that in mind, that we have to do what we have to do, and also recognize that sometimes is the jumping off place that people are willing to take some bigger risk. Some other things you can do, like I have a client right now that I know we're in this pickle from a different system perspective because of the chronic malnutrition. And they want to eat a certain way, but that way does not support just full renourishment. And I'm going to actually be suggesting, this is kind of a newer thing. I had to get some lab work and noticing that like there probably are some supplements that would be really supportive, and that's where I tend to start. I don't talk too much about this, but I'm fairly knowledgeable about a lot of vitamins and herbs and stuff like that, and I use things sparingly because it's like people always do too much. But sometimes there's a situation where, you know, if we need if they can afford it, and it really makes sense, and it's like a building block thing that they're just not getting anything in, they might really need that to at least get some nutrition support on board, even though it's not necessarily from food. And so those are some options that you have, as long as you feel like it's really clear, like this is not going to do any harm, and it might do some benefit, but and also might be like a psychological benefit, like here's something I can do, and you're really clear that like this is you could take this forever, but big picture, we're not going to get to where you want to go, and you're not going to have a chance to feel how you want to feel unless we keep working on the nutrition rehabilitation. And by the way, these are not in clients who are deemed underweight. I would say that a lot of my clients who actually have had a lot of malnourishment, and what I'm seeing happen over time is that the body just goes into a conservation mode. And I mean, that's because of the low calorie intake, but it's also in times of just being in so much functional freeze in their system, then I do think their body can just easily hold on and maybe even gain weight in those situations. And I wouldn't go talking about that too much with your clients unless you're absolutely sure or very sure that's probably what happened. But sometimes it's a really good education piece to be able to say, hey, this way is not working, to not only numb out all your feelings anymore, but essentially help you medically feel better. So these are some sticky situations that take a lot of encouragement, a lot of being gentle, a lot of nuance, but you can definitely help people make some positive changes. And if you can just start with one, more food, that's always number one. In any way that you can help people get that in, if you need to do some supplementation, 2, and number 3, of course, doing rest and regulation work with clients, which I know I've talked about here and there in this on this platform here. Certainly, it's in the trauma course I have coming up September 4th. The whole course is about containment, regulation, titration, orienting, all kinds of tools to help a person feel less unsafe, to be able to not only settle and soothe the nervous system, to not be so scared, and to be more rest and digest, but also help a person just feel more grounded and be willing to take some risk. So I hope this video was helpful. It's tough. I mean, I struggle sometimes with clients that, like, there are certain things I know that, gosh, would just blow this whole thing wide open in a really positive way, but it doesn't feel accessible yet. And we're just holding the space and making changes positively where we can. And, being transparent, but also being really kind about it, that it's really up to them and that you're there for them and you've got their back. So, all right. Thank you all so much. And if you have questions, please let me know. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.